everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 3 by the Sea Designs podcast. My name is Kim, and this is a knitting podcast primarily, although we do get up to other things as well. And my sister Becky, my mom Dreama, and we own an online Etsy shop where we sell our project bags, stitch markers, hand-dyed yarn, and occasionally other things. So welcome to episode 23. Today is Friday, February 3rd, 2023. This is episode 23 and there's so much to talk to you about. As you can see behind me, I've got so many fun things to share with you, so many things to tell you about things going on with our shop that you can get involved with. And today is our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So that's also very fun and exciting. There's just so much to talk to you about. I'm gonna dive right in and get started. Let's talk some shop news. So February 1st started our Valentine's Day make-along. And I talked about it quite a bit on the last podcast episode, but I wanted to go over things with you guys again because it has started a couple of days ago. It's primarily going to be in our Mermakers Facebook group, which is a private Facebook group that we host. And you can post your progress pictures there. You'll be able to post your finished object pictures there as well. But we are also running the make-along on Instagram as well, using the hashtag 3BTSValmal. I'll put it up here on the screen. And you can post your pictures there as well. We're gonna be pulling 2 prizes, one in our Mermakers group and one in our one from Instagram. So people have already been posting their pictures, and the rules basically are that you can knit any pattern, knit or crochet. It doesn't have to be knit. So you can pick any pattern. It just has to be with 3 by the Sea yarn. It doesn't have to be all 3 by the Sea yarn. You can use contrasting colors and other dyers, but just one of the skeins at least needs to be 3 by the Sea yarn. And it runs through the end of February. So it's running the whole month, and then we will draw prizes in the beginning of March. It's been really great so far. We did a Facebook Live and an Instagram Live on the 1st to sort of kick things off. And I showed a few new surprises, so I'll get into that now. Right after Christmas, we put up a pre-order for our next mystery sock set, which was Valentine's Day themed, and it was inspired by Charlie Brown. The colorway was called Be My Valentine Chuck, and it was a 100-gram skein of our sock yarn on our Sanibel base and a 20-gram mini. This was the inspiration picture. We always do an inspo pic for the mystery sock sets, and it was just so fun to design and to create it with all the reds and the pinks and purples, and then that pop of color for the mini, that classic yellow that Charlie Brown wears. So the big skein was called Be My Valentine Chuck, and the mini was called That Yellow Shirt. And so many of you ordered it, we sold out of it, and have been using it for the make-along. So we said if you used your new mystery sock set for the make-along, you get an extra entry into the prize drawing for the make-along. So this was our mystery sock set, and then I sort of surprised everybody right before the make-along started. I designed a sock pattern that was inspired by this colorway and just the whole Valentine's Charlie Brown theme. And this is what it looks like so far. Well, I've got the first sock finished. So these are called the Chevron Shorties, and they're basically just a plain vanilla sock, shorty sock. And then when you get closer to the toe at the bottom of the foot, there's a really fun color work section and a little garter ridge detail at the bottom. So I released these for free to our Mermakers Facebook group. If you are part of that group, you can download the pattern for free in the group. And if you're not part of our Mermakers group, you can definitely join. There's a link down below in the description box to the Mermakers group. Request to join to be a part of that fun community. It's really a great group of people, and everybody's sharing all of the things that they're working on. And it's just, if you ever have any questions about anything knitting related or making related, it's not just for knitting, it's for all makers. That's why we call it the Mermakers. But it's a lot of fun. So join our group, and then you can get your free Chevron Shorties pattern. This pattern will go up for sale in a couple of weeks after the make along is over, and it'll go up for sale in our Etsy shop. But right now it's free to the Mermakers exclusively. This is what the Be My Valentine Chuck colorway looks like caked up. It's a little bit wonky now because I've been pulling from the center. And I am on the second sock. So one of the things that we talked about on the lives that we did on February 1st were different ways that you could modify the pattern. And we were thinking it would be fun to do the chevron color work at the top of the shorty, right under the cuff, and so you could see it on your leg as well. So I thought it would be fun to show everyone what that would look like. So I have started a second sock with the color work starting right after the ribbing on the cuff. And then once I finished the color work, I immediately started the heel. So these will be two different socks. I will knit the second sock for this one as well as another sock for this one, because you can get 2 pairs of shorties out of one 100-gram skein of our sock yarn. So that's been a lot of fun to work on, and this will be one of my things that I'm working on during the make along. So if you have not joined in the make along yet, that's okay. You didn't have to start on the 1st. You can start anytime during the month of February. If you don't want to join the make along, to be prize eligible, you could cast on and knit with us or crochet with us. And if your finished objects or if your project isn't completed by the end of the month, that's okay. I've joined in lots of make-alongs and not actually finished them, and I've actually followed along during make-alongs and not actually made anything. I just enjoy seeing the projects that people are working on and the different yarns that they pick. So it's a lot of fun whether you're actually participating or not. There's some really exciting things coming up in later in February. And I kind of wanted to go over some dates with you guys so you could be aware of things, because I feel like every weekend coming up, besides this weekend, every weekend coming up in February, it seems like there's something going on, and actually into March as well. So I sort of wanted to recap the things that are happening during those dates. So February 11th, which is about a week from now, we're going to have a brand new colorway in our shop. The colorway is called Memories of Paris, and it is this beautiful pink and peach and gold colorway with some pink speckles as well. And it was inspired by this picture. I'll put it up here. And we wanted to have something that was sort of, because it's February, we wanted to have something, that reminded us of love and of just vintage type feel to it. So this is Memories of Paris. There will be a sock set available with these 2 minis. It will also be available on all of our bases. as a single skein as well. Now, the Memories of Paris colorway inspired a new design. So I have been working, you guys know if you've been watching for a while, I love to design different cowls. I've never written up a pattern and published any of the cowls that I've designed, but I finally did it, and I think I came up with one that's probably my favorite design yet for a cowl. So technically I can consider this a finished object because I have completed it. This is the Memories of Paris cowl pattern that I have designed. It uses our Memories of Paris colorway as well as a skein of mohair in weathered wood. So I used, let me pull this out of the sock set to show you. So I used these two skeins, which is weathered wood, on our mohair, on our Venice base. And I used Memories of Paris. This is on our Sanibel base, which is a fingering weight. So it takes one skein of fingering weight and not a full skein of mohair. I'll show you what I had left over. It was quite a bit because there's only mohair in certain sections of the pattern. So at the top, you have this really kind of unique neck cuff. It's a folded over neck cuff, and it does not use a provisional cast on, which a lot of people are shy away from because it can be a little bit intimidating. I've done a few of them and it's not my favorite either. But so I decided not to use the provisional cast on for this. There's another way to do it. And then each section, you either hold the mohair double with the main color, or you're just holding the main color by itself. It has this beautiful lacework ribbing at the bottom. There's 6 different sections, including the neck as well as the bottom. And each section you're learning a different, or you're knitting a different stitch, different technique. So I thought it would be fun for us to learn some new techniques with our knitting. So this pattern will be released on the 25th of February. It's being tested right now by a couple of testers. So thank you to my testers. And hopefully I'll get everything ready to go and put it up for sale by February 25th. So let me know what you guys think of the new cowl. And also of our new yarn. So, and there'll be plenty of these available, and we're actually going to be dyeing some more of our mohair, of our weathered wood on our Venice base. And so you guys have those available if you want to use the same yarn. This is what the cowl looks like on, and I purposely did not put any mohair in the neck cuff because sometimes people, I don't know, mohair does not bother me, but I know mohair can sometimes be scratchy to people. So I didn't want it to be in the cuff around your face. Also, sometimes mohair, it likes to shed and sort of get in your face. Sometimes I'm like constantly taking mohair out. So like I thought not to have the mohair around your neckline close to your face would be better. And I left it out of the bottom as well in case you wanted to flip the cowl around and wear this pretty lacework ribbing at the top. You could do that as well. So it's pretty versatile in that way, but it's very warm and squishy and just soft around your neck. It will be perfect to keep your neck warm during the colder months. So I hope you all love the new Memories of Paris cowl, and like I said, it's going to be up for sale in our Etsy shop as a download pattern, and it will be available on the 25th of February. Something else that's coming to our shop on February 11th, I guess it'll be like a little mini shop update because it will have the new Memories of Paris yarn. It'll have sock sets. Oh, I was gonna tell you also, we'll have the sock sets in fingering weight as well as a few DK weight sock sets as well with the 2 minis. And then we will have this colorway across all of our bases available. But another thing coming to the shop on the 11th is a really cute spread of St. Patrick's Day stitch markers and progress keepers. I'm gonna pop a little video in here just showing you what we have that's coming. And we also have restocked a few stitch markers that have sold out, so I will show you those as well now. So we thought those were super cute and a fun way to celebrate March and St. Patrick's Day, and those will be available on the 11th. Something else, the last thing really that we're going to be adding on the 11th is some of these orange minis. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but we have a colorway in the shop called Ivy. It looks like this. And we did this at Christmas time. We put this colorway in the shop at Christmas time, and we thought it looked so pretty and it would be such a pretty colorway to use in March for St. Patrick's Day. So we added a few orange minis to the shop so you could make a sock set out of it because they just look so cute together. And my mom actually has been knitting a pair of socks with the Ivy and the orange mini, and this is what they look like. So this is Ivy as the main color and this orange as the contrast. And look how pretty Ivy knits up. We just love it. It's perfect for socks. It would be perfect for a hat, for to use in a shawl or a cowl or even a sweater. It would be gorgeous in. We have this available in fingering weight on our Sanibel base as well as our Coquina base, which is a merino cashmere nylon blend, and I'm pretty sure we have it in DK and on mohair as well. But I just love it. So this is Ivy. It is in our shop right now. The orange mini is not in the shop. That will be coming on Saturday. But we just wanted to show you guys how beautifully it knits up. And it looks so cute with the orange mini, and it's absolutely perfect for March and for St. Patrick's Day knitting. It just started like torrential downpour raining here, so I don't know if you guys can hear that, but if you do hear a background noise, that's what it is. All right, so what else? So on February 18th, our new mystery sock set is going to go up for sale on pre-order. This is for April, so you will get the mystery sock set at the end of March, because we're doing our mystery sock sets every 3 months we're doing them. So we did the one for February, and I guess every 2 months we're doing them. So February, and then we're doing another one again for April. So the theme for the next mystery sock set is going to be Wizard of Oz. And I don't have an inspiration picture to show you yet, but just think Wizard of Oz. And that's going to go up for sale on the 18th. I will podcast on the 17th. I'll do another episode. I'll talk more about the details on the next podcast, which is the day before it goes up for pre-order. But it will be a full 100-gram skein with 2 coordinating minis in the Wizard of Oz theme. So that's something else to be on the lookout for. And then the next weekend will be the cowl pattern release, which is the 25th. And then March 11th is our next big shop update. It will be our spring collection. We'll have project bags, stitch markers, and yarn all in a collection for spring. So that will be a major update with multiple things added to the shop. And of course, we'll do a shop preview a few days to a week beforehand to show you all of the wonderful, beautiful things coming to the shop. All right, I think that is it for shop news. I know that was a lot of information. I'll just quickly recap everything. So February 11th, our Memories of Paris colorway comes out, as well as the new St. Patrick's Day stitch markers and progress keepers. February 18th, our mystery sock set for April will go up on pre-order. You'll get those at the end of March. And February 25th is the cowl pattern release date. And then March 11th is our next big shop update for our spring collection. Whew, that was a lot of information. So let's get to something super fun and super exciting, something you guys have probably been waiting for weeks now. I didn't get to record a podcast episode when I was supposed to, like 2 weeks ago, because I got sick last week and it was just a big old mess. So now that everything is back on track, we are ready to do our 1,000 subscriber giveaway here on YouTube. So we hit 1,000 subscribers back in probably the beginning of January or so. And we were so appreciative of you guys supporting us and supporting this channel and supporting our business and just being there and being involved in this community that we have built together. So we decided to dye a one-of-a-kind colorway to do a giveaway here on the channel. So this is the giveaway prize. It's a one-of-a-kind skein, and it's a sock set, so it comes with this really cute 20-gram mini. This is our sugar plum colorway, and we thought it just paired so nicely with this. And the really exciting thing is that there's actually 2 of them. So I guess they're technically 2 of a kind. So there's 2 prizes that we will be giving away today on the episode. So you're going to comment if you want to enter the giveaway. And we were trying to think of a word that you could use to enter the giveaway. And we just started thinking about how wonderful this community is, and there's so many amazing podcasters out there. There's so many amazing bag makers and yarn dyers and stitch marker makers, and just the whole fiber community is just so lovely to be a part of. And we thought it would be fun for you to enter the giveaway, to comment with someone that you love, that you want to share with us. You know, we feel like there is so much room in this community for everyone, and we are always we love to promote other makers, other yarn dyers, other bag makers, everything. We love to promote them and to support small businesses. And, you know, it's just, we don't feel any competition whatsoever with anyone. And we think there's room for all of us. And everyone brings something different to the table. And we love to see people pursue their dreams and to just be a part of this community. So we thought it would be fun for you to comment and let us know who you like. And that way we can share it and we can all read the comments and see different designers, different yarn dyers. Just let us know who you like, and not necessarily your very favorite, just tell us who you like. And that way we can all see them as well. So we'll pick 2 winners from the comments. I think it'll be so fun to look through and see all the different people. There's so many different beautiful, talented makers out there. And we just want to show some support and love to them because you guys have shown so much support and love to us over the last few years. So thank you guys for helping us get to 1,000 subscribers, for supporting us and liking our videos and commenting and just being there for us in general. We're so appreciative of it. And we're gonna pick 2 winners to win these lovely sock sets from the comments. So thank you guys again, and we can't wait to see who wins. We're so excited about it. Because it has been so long since I've done a regular episode, it's been about a month, I have quite a few finished objects to show you. One of them was the cowl, the Memories of Paris cowl that I already showed. And I have several whips. I'll go through those quickly. And what else? I think that's about it. So let's get going with my finished objects. The first finished object I have is this pair of socks. This is a pair of socks that I started back in December. I knit the heel toe do-si-do pattern by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I used a skein of yarn. This main color was called Peppermint Swirl from Little Bean Loves yarn. And the contrast color, which you can see the stellina in it, was from an advent I got a couple of years ago from a dyer called Bigfoot Fibers. And I just love how they turned out. These are actually a gift for someone, and I was supposed to have them finished by now. Well, actually they've been finished for a while, but I haven't shown them yet on the podcast, so I wasn't able to mail them yet. But what's really cool about this yarn is that, so half of the skein of yarn was the cream color, and then the other half of the skein was these pinks and reds blended together. So if you have a skein of yarn like that, it's going to do this micro striping effect if you're knitting socks with it, which I think is super, super cute. I did modify the pattern slightly because I did this is called an umbrella toe by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. So, because I love that toe, I use it all the time. So that was the only modification I did to the pattern. It's a great, great pattern. It was really easy to memorize, and Crazy Sock Lady has some really, really nice sock patterns. So check her out if you have never seen any of her patterns. So that's my first finished object. Well, actually my second, because my first was the cowl. After I finished the heel toe do-si-do socks, I had told myself, you're not gonna cast on any new socks until the make-along starts at the beginning of February. So I found it very odd to not have a pair of socks on the needles, because I always have a pair of socks on the needles no matter what. So I thought it would be fun to use some of the leftover yarn from this pair of socks to make a yarn cozy. So I used some scrap yarn that I had left over from something else, and then I used those other two colors for the yarn cozy. This is a pattern by Knitty Natty that I've had for quite a while now, and I've made lots of yarn cozies. Let's see if I have a skein of yarn. There we go. So your yarn fits into the cozy like this. And if you pull from the center, I usually pull from the center of the cake. But I think you can use these even not pulling from the center. I'm pretty sure that's what her pattern said. But this is why I did the bottom color, because it's kind of like the base. I did it in a different color. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way to use your leftover scraps. And I might start doing that where when I'm finished with a pair of socks, I'll immediately start a yarn cozy, because these would also make really great gifts for your knitting and crocheting friends. So if I do that, if I committed to making a yarn cozy after I make a pair of socks, if I have enough of the yarn left over, then I would have some nice gifts to use for all of my knitting and crochet people in my life. So that's my another finished object. Something else that I finished is the hat that I was working on as well back in December. I started this in December. This is called the Autumn Gold Hat by Faye, Perriam-Reed. This is what the pattern looks like. It's a paid for pattern. And it uses a very simple cable design. I'd never done cables before. I actually had to borrow a cable needle from my mom. But it's got this beautiful cable and lace detail all the way up the hat. I made the slouchy version. And the colorway I used is Sweet Shop. This was in our shop. Back in our Christmas update that we did. And I just love it. I really enjoyed the cables, even though I was a little intimidated at first because I'd never done cables before, but it was not bad at all. This cable was very, very simple to do. Okay, so I think that's it for all of my finished objects. That was 4 of them this time. That's probably a record breaker for me. And I'm gonna show you a few of the whips that I have going on. 2 of them are kind of like the lingering whips that I've been working on for quite a while now, one of them especially. But I'm hoping by showing them to you, that will give me some inspiration to get them finished and off the needles. So the first one I have is in this big tote. I started this blanket January of last year. So it's been a year that it's been on the needles. It is the Bits and Bobs blanket by Kay Jones. And it's quite big at this point. Let's see if I can hold it up and show you. And I'm using scraps, so you hold 2 fingering weight. Let me make sure I have my stitch stoppers on here, yes. So you hold 2 fingering weight yarns together, and I'm just holding, I went through all of my scrap yarn and put them all together in that big tote, and I'm just picking up one when one of them ends, and I'm tying them together by magic knot, and I'm just keeping going until that yarn runs out. It's a really fun pattern. It's super easy to do. And the fabric that it makes is very nice and soft and squishy. But it's heavy enough. I mean, it's a great blanket weight of a fabric. I pull it out every once in a while to work on it. I'd really like to get it finished though, so I can use it. And just so it's not a lingering whip anymore. I'm not sure what the finished measurements would be. I guess it's really as however long you want to make it. So it's been a lot of fun to work on this and a great way to use up scraps. I think I need a plan for this, like maybe do the 30 minutes of knitting every morning. This could be my 30 minutes of knitting project, either in the morning or at night. I definitely need to commit to something if I want to get this finished, if I'm worried about that. Sometimes people that are working on blankets, they just say it'll get done when it gets done. It's what you would call a long-term work in progress. But I'd like to use it. So I would like to get it finished at some point. I don't know. I need to sit down and think about a plan, like write out a plan for getting this finished, because I don't necessarily want it to keep going and going and going. So, and it is already that long. I don't know how long that is. Maybe 4 feet long at this point. So I want it to go a little bit longer than this. So what do you guys do for blanket knitting? Do you just let it go for as long as you want it to, or do you try to get it done like on a timetable, a schedule? What are your thoughts on getting those old lingering whips finished? Like I could focus just on this and get it done, or I could do the 30 minutes of knitting every day on it, or I don't know. What are your thoughts and ideas on blanket knitting and long-term whips, that type of thing? Some people, it doesn't bother them to have something on their needles for 2 to 3 years, especially a blanket. Me, for some reason, it bothers me. I don't know why. It's like, oh, I gotta get that done. I gotta get that done. I guess that's just the type of knitter that I am. I mean, I enjoy the process of it immensely, but after a certain point, I'm like, okay, I want this done. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Another work in progress that I have been neglecting, and it's so awful because it's a present for someone. My nephew and his wife are having a baby very, very soon. She's due in like 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, sometime towards the middle to end of February. And I was crocheting a granny square blanket for them, and I haven't finished it. I really need to give this some love because I wanted to give it to her right after the baby is born. I don't know what my problem is. I've been enjoying it. I think the reason why I haven't finished it is because then I have to make a decision on what I want to do next, because I could just finish it and give it to her like this, but I really wanted to put a backing on it with fabric. So I got this really cute fabric from Joann's, and I want to put this on the back of the crochet blanket when it's finished. I have this much yarn left. This is an acrylic yarn. Oh, what was the name of it? Lion Brand Mandala Sparkle, and the color number is 313. I used a whole skein of it, and then this is the second skein. So I'm gonna finish it out just until I run out of this and do some type of border around it. And then I wanna put the fabric on the back of it. And I think that's where I'm sort of indecisive on what I wanna do, how to sew it on, how to tack it down and attach everything. So I'm going to enlist the help of my very skilled sewist mother and sister, Becky and Dreama, and see if they can help me get this finished. And if you guys know of any ways, if you've done this before, or if you have seen anyone do it, please let me know. We've watched a few video tutorials about it. So basically it would look like this on the front, and then it would have the adorable rainbow, super soft fabric on the back. And that would just add a extra layer of warmth, as well as softness and just cuteness too. So I'm sort of at a standstill at this point, but I could finish the blanket at least, get my measurements, and then we need to decide what I'm going to do with the backing. So we'll see how that goes. But I need to get it finished because the baby's gonna be here very, very soon. The last whip I have to show you is my Love Note sweater. It is so close to being finished. I ran out of room in my project bag, so I'm using a little basket for it. And this is the Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits. I've shown this on previous podcast episodes. This is what it looks like. I'm not making the cropped version, I'm making it longer. And I also made this one's sleeves are pretty long, but I made my sleeves longer than what was recommended in the pattern, because I just wanted it to be an oversized, comfy, just fluffy, warm sweater, which is basically what it is. So this is where I am at. I have finished the body. That's the back. I finished the body, which I was working on last time. Last time I showed it, the neckline had not been finished either, so I finished that. And I finished a whole sleeve. So again, this is I made a size larger. I made the extra large instead of the large, and it's supposed to be oversized anyway. So I knew it would be big, which it is, and that's totally fine with me. But the only thing I have left to do is the second sleeve, which with the size needles that you use for this, it goes really, really, really fast. The yarn that I'm using is a yarn that I dyed, I don't know, a while back. It's you hold a fingering weight together with a lace weight. So you can use mohair. I used a Surrey alpaca silk blend. Let me see if I have the yarns. So it's a fingering weight yarn, and I'm using the Surrey alpaca silk blend, and you hold them double. This is the yarn from the sweater that I had started last year that I ripped out, the red vent cardigan. And I think I'm so glad I made that decision, because this is what it's supposed to be. There's some beautiful lace work detail on the yoke. And I love it. I'm gonna try it on for you. I just threw this on over my shirt that I already had on, but if I was gonna wear this like out, I would put on something either nude or white to go underneath it, because the lace work is quite open and shows a lot of underneath. So the sleeves are gonna be that long, which I guess that's about what it looks like in the pattern. I did go past what they said to do in the pattern, about 10 or 15 rounds past. So I don't know what's up with that, but all I have left to do is the second sleeve, and then I'm finished. And again, it's big and oversized. I purposely wanted it that way, just so I could throw it on over something and have room for it. You do have short rows in the back, so it's a little bit longer in the back, and that's perfect because it covers my bum. And I just love it. It's so soft and just it's a great pattern. I highly recommend it. And I can't wait to get it finished so I can wear it. It will not take long at all because it was a very fast knit. You use a larger size needles to give it that sort of open, drapey look. And it's just been a lot of fun to knit it. And I'm glad I finally found the perfect pattern for the yarn because the other project just wasn't working for it. So that's it for whips for my works in progress. And I don't think I have anything else on the needles. No, I do, but I'll show it to you next time. It's another cowl of the Memories of Paris cowl. And because I wanted it to be in 2 different colors to show you the Memories of Paris yarn as well as a couple of other colorways we have in the shop. But I'll show that to you next time. But this is the Candy Hearts Minis sock set. Not sock set, the Candy Hearts Minis set that we have in the shop. There's only a few of these left. And for our Valentine's make along, I wanted to make something with these. So when we were doing our Facebook Live the other day, I was showing different because I want to make a pair of socks. I was showing different tonals that we have in the shop that I could pair them with. And then one of our members, Lydia, hi Lydia, she suggested, and thank you so much for suggesting this, she suggested black yarn to pair with it because I want to make the Heartsplosion socks. I'll put a picture up of them here. And it's a lot of color work, and I think that these colors would just really pop well together. And I had this black skein that I had over-dyed. It's got the alpaca all over it. I had over-dyed this yarn. This is on our coquina base, and I had over-dyed it because the colorway did not turn out well at all. So I over-dyed it with black and a little bit of purple in there. I don't know if it's showing up. But she suggested black because she said it would really pop, and I had to agree. So I'm going to use these 2 to make the Heartsplosion socks for the Valentine's make-along that we're doing. So that's it for my future plans. I don't have anything else immediately that I'm going to cast on. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and it's probably going to be a long one, and that's okay. It's been a month since episode 22, so I knew there would be a lot. I hope you enjoyed it, and do not forget to enter our giveaway for our sock sets. There's going to be 2 winners drawn, and make sure you comment with any designer or maker or podcaster that you like. Let us know in the comments who you like and who you'd like to share with us so we can see them and just get to know everybody in this knitting community. We love you all so much and are so appreciative of you and everything that you do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we can't wait to announce the winners. They'll be announced on the next episode, which will be on February 17th. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.